But at one point he's like, I have no formal education. I have no education. Sorry.
Okay, go ahead.
No, we'll find
So basically, Steve and Steven have rebranded to Gootopia, and it may not go over well with some fans.
The expression is gooning, Gooning.
It's called gooning, and the left wants to ban it completely.
Listen, here's the thing. I love gooning. So get up, dust off, goon.
Just kidding, guys. I did not goon. We're still edging, but we're in Goontopia. Welcome to Goontopia. I'm Steve.
I'm Steven.
We got a lot of shit to talk about today, guys. It's a busy day, and I think actually for once we've tried to have debates on the show, but it never really ends up working because we both end up agreeing with the other person. It's never. I guess it's so compelling we don't even need to have it.
I think I disagree with this. Not to start a different debate because we are going to be in debate mode today. Presidential debates are happening.
Yeah, we got to get in the spirit. Why do you disagree with that?
Because I feel like we have had good debates on here. I just don't know what have we debated.
I don't know, like who's a bigger Strokes fan? That's the only debate.
And I have a feeling that today's debate won't be good. But go ahead.
Okay.
Well, I'm not promising much, but we'll see if we can deliver.
Not to debate the debated debate, but I think it might go good. So I guess the talk of the town is Terrence Howard, not to be confused with Clarence Thomas, which I in my head had been calling him numerous times when rehearsing. Terrence Howard was on Joe Rogan's podcast, and guys, if you haven't seen this, should we just show what he looks like? I'm sure that'll be helpful,
you might know him from a movie or two. Nothing I've seen.
Yeah, he was like
CSI Miami.
He was in Iron Man. He was Don Cheadle is now his he took over the character, and
they say I'm blacker than Cheadle. Okay.
So this is him. And, I pointed out to Steven, I kind of ranted about it because you were telling me about this podcast. And if you watch it or if you watch people talk about it, they say, Clarence, God damn it, Terrence has been making these claims that like 1 × 1 is actually 2 and that the periodic table is flawed, and he has looked into and actually knew about the better periodic table the whole time. And the point I had made to Steven, and this is the point that I'm making in the debate, is that he is the same archetype of some rich black folk where they accomplish something in one field and then they all of the sudden think they have like the answers to the universe. They think the triangle's flawed. They've got a new invention for the wheel and all this ridiculous stuff. And so my other examples had been like when Cat Williams was on Joe Rogan, because Cat Williams was talking down to Joe Rogan, and I was listening to a little bit of snippets of it just to kind of prove my point.
Yeah, they have that in common.
Wait, what?
That they both were talking down to Joe. It's yes, you're right already. See, I'm already conceding. That's why this is going to be a bad debate. But they do the I'm smarter than you black guy voice.
Yeah.
Which is also a thing white people do, but it's a different brand, okay?
And then, Kanye West kind of does it a little bit where he's like, what? We need water, but we need information on how to get water. It's like they either have the stupidest idea ever or the most basic observation ever, and then they say it like they're smart. And at some point along the way, you disagreed. So now I'll open the floor to you.
Okay, thank you. I think my main disagreement was just that I think Clarence Howard is more in on what he's doing because he's like rewritten his childhood. So early on in the episode, he's talking about that he remembers being born, he remembers being circumcised, he remembers when he first saw light. I guess that would be being born. But then later on, you find out he's just referencing all these scientists and all this esoteric mumbo jumbo. You just watch 6 hours straight of YouTube videos every night. These kind of Charles Carroll type videos. Not dragging Charles at all.
Yeah, our friend of the show, Charles Carroll.
And so I think what he's done is he's crafted like this narrative of his life and this visionary thing. So that's why I said maybe we shouldn't debate, because I kind of agree, it's like he is a little cat-like in his behavior.
Yeah.
I think he's just a big con man, because the other thing we're going to get into is his education on here.
Yeah.
And so originally he lied and said he had a PhD in what?
Let me try to
chemical engineering, biochemical weapon.
And like bioengineering.
Something else I want to point out too, or mention, is that I've known about this 1 × 1 = 2 thing forever, because it went It was on Twitter a few years ago.
I only knew about.
And he went on The View and talked about it. And then I think even, I haven't watched this video yet, but Matt and Shane talked about it like 2 years ago on their podcast, Terryology or whatever he calls it, Terranceology.
Oh, yeah.
That's some clariology. A little black voiced.
He had yet to bring up the 2 + 2 = fish.
Mm-hmm.
So that was the other thing. So it seems to be like Cat Williams is just kind of like dumb, but I will kind of concede on this point that I don't know if I think this is like a con, that he's a con man, because the reason I say that is because like Joe Rogan has had like the guy who denied the moon landing on his show, and kind of the whole time he's like plugging his website, and like same thing with Alex Jones, like he wasn't really plugging anything. So that's what makes me think he's not a con man, because his whole his manifesto is like free online on his website. So it's like, what is he trying to con us out of?
Yeah, but all attention is good attention. But he may still believe that he's discovered that 1 × 1 × 1 = 3, and however many ones you add to the multiplier, he might believe that. But I just think there's no way he really believes he remembers his birth.
Yeah,
or he's that crazy. I don't know. But he's less word salad than Cat. Cat was just like Anunnaki, the ancient ancestors, the Black Israelites.
Joe said something about like outer space, and Cat just goes, like, Joe's like, if you went out into outer space, it'd be crazy. You'd be like in outer space. And then he goes, Joe. You know, once we in outer space, we the aliens. And it's like, yeah, no shit, you fucking stupid midget. Like, no, I'm just kidding.
Also, Joe didn't buy anything Cat was saying. That was really obvious.
Yeah,
and
he
Cat
was, like,
too dumb to realize it. Like, that's the thing going on that you have to pick up on. Is that Joe obviously didn't believe anything. He goes, oh, there's no outer space? It's like, Joe's like, come on, this Cat's really trying to pull this on me.
Yeah, and I think Joe also just wanted to have Cat on the show, so he didn't want to push back against anything. He was just like trying to please him the whole time.
Yeah.
And so he was just letting him say whatever. Where at least with the Terrence Howard, I will say he was speaking a lot of gibberish, but it was like he has thought of this before. He may be wrong, but it doesn't sound like he's just making stuff up on the spot. Well,
and we'll see the giant PDF. We'll get to it.
Okay.
He's written about it.
And here's earlier we mentioned his degree. So this is the controversy on his degree. So here it says, Howard has stated that he went to school for chemical engineering and applied materials, though he did not complete his engineering degree. Because on the show, right, he said he only went for a year and something. And then he's also said that he only needs 3 credits. So Howard thinks of himself as an engineer and intends to one day to return to complete the 3 credits of which he claims he is currently short. And then Howard's account of his educational history has not been confirmed, but he was gifted, down here it says, a degree, an honorary degree of Doctorate of Human Letters. But he, I think, takes the doctorate part and the fact that he studied chemical engineering to say, I have a doctorate in...
Yeah, getting a doctor of letters for a black person is just them learning the alphabet.
Yeah, the alphabet.
Man, I'm a doctor of letters. I learned all of them. There's A, B, C, D. Hold on, I'm gonna finish. E, F.
You know how it goes. G. He goes, I'm a doctor of letters. And by the way, that's not DR. That's DOCTOR. He spells it out. Period.
But I still have my first name. It just goes before my first name.
Yeah.
The doctor does not replace my first name. It's more of an honorific title, sort of like king. Okay.
The presuffixication of my name has been clarified by my doctoral status. Okay, so we've got his book. So let's check it out. This is honestly, if you just like Google his name, this book comes up. It is worth flipping through. It is.
I mean, this first page is incredible. Shit. Oh, and he also mentions his education. Where I'm going to look for it. Okay. He says something to the effect of like, while I've not attended any prestigious universities.
So it's just always full of stuff. And then, okay, sorry. This allow me to at the beginning. Allow me to enlighten you. If April 2nd is the inverse operation of 2 × 2 = 4. Then it would naturally follow that February 1st is the inverse operation of 1 × 1 = 2. What does your common sense tell y'all about these 2 scenarios?
Something that's funny about these pages is that they're written out like a Stay on the page.
Okay,
I'm still talking.
Yeah.
Right. So the funny thing is that it's written out like, you know, a mathematical, logical formula thing, but it's really just like basic operations. But he's taking up entire pages just to put like 2 × 2 = 4.
Yeah.
But then the other thing too is it's like, I don't know how math logic is written out, but it's like naturally follow, like a real, then it would naturally follow.
Right. It's almost like a code or something. Like if blank then.
And then
this.
just putting the word common sense after all of that too. Like,
Yeah.
does that add up?
I thought you were gonna. I started scrolling, so I thought you were gonna bring up like how he has all these memes in the pages.
No, those are good. We could really scroll through those.
Yeah, and just flipping through it. I mean, you've got
treatise. That's what he called it too. He's like, I sent Neil deGrasse Tyson a treatise.
Yeah.
By the way, I'm not doing his voice at all. I'm just doing the voice.
That's
black voice.
A black guy's voice. Oh, there we go.
That's the other thing too, is he's been married like 4 times. He had domestic violence things against him. It's like, you're gonna tell me this guy isn't a fucking liar? Like, he probably had to say he found God to get out of jail.
And then, this was when he had like this reference to, he's like, so what happens when the sphere turn inside out or whatever? I don't remember what it was. But
yeah, he basically patented a bunch of shapes that are the negative space on a circle. Well, that doesn't make sense. If you stack a bunch of circles, he takes the negative space.
Oh, this was a good one.
Yeah, the chessboard that doesn't show anything.
Yeah, it's no game has been played, first of all. There's no reason. It's almost he was just thinking like, man, what's smart chess?
And the funniest thing too about the chess picture being on here is I think that like him not getting that 1 × 1 = 1 because he thinks it's 2. It's like almost perfectly illustrated with a chessboard because you can look at 1 dimension by 1 dimension and see that it's 1 square.
Right. Yeah. 1.
But his argument is 1 × 1 = 2. Where wait no hold on 1 × 1 = 1. Where'd the other 1 go?
Yeah. You take the 1 times it by the other 1. That's 2 1s in the equation. Therefore, it is to be 2.
The other argument he makes too is that any other time that you square, this is so stupid. Anytime you square a number, it's more than if you had added those 2 numbers. And he's like, how come 1 don't do that? That's his complaint. It's like, well, why does it have to?
Yeah.
It's not a rule. That's just something you noticed. Let's move forward. I love that too. Balance.
Jim Crow laws, the identity property, the Jim Crow laws of mathematics. That was just math for me as a young man. I hated math. Which I really shouldn't, but the atom bomb.
Yeah, what does he say here? The identity element were proven to be false.
Shit, dude, this.
What would happen to the institutions that are precariously positioned upon its foundation if that cornerstone was to show signs of failure? Yeah, I don't know what would happen. This is like, because we did mention this isn't just a black thing, right?
Yeah.
This is a white thing too. Graham Hancock is not that much better. He actually goes to Peru or whatever and tries to prove these ancient civilizations.
Like Atlantis and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. And if you just watch any of his documentaries, it's like 20 minutes of like, but the modern scientific community just doesn't want to know this fun little fact about the ancient world.
They won't tell you. They're all in cahoots with the truth.
And you think, okay, that's fine for the exposition, the first 8 minutes of the documentary, but that should never even show, like, it should just be your evidence once you get to the 30-minute mark.
And I also think that like part of it's less of like the scientific community denying the truth of Atlantis and more so like they don't have enough information to confirm that what has been discovered is actually Atlantis. But then all of the conspiracy documentaries and people like the guy you described, they'll just say like, oh, well, they're denying. The mainstream media will never cover this. And it's like, it's just kind of reporting on something that's at a moot point. What can they add to it? It's old stuff. They don't know how old it is. There's nothing written about it. So I don't know. It's just like an easy way to rewrite a narrative.
People on Twitter that are going crazy over this that love him, I think he's doing some bold thing. Don't understand them. Oh yeah, this is the thing too. He like claims that he saw that in a dream as a child. Like that's also the thing where he said in his childhood, he'd have dreams where he could go to this mansion and all the answers to the universe were there.
Yeah, he sees.
And he goes, man, if I had only looked to find out how my mom wouldn't die, I could have saved her. And it's like, well, what would you have done?
Yeah, you would have come up with a cure. You would have looked at this periodic table. Sorry, this PDF reader. Okay, so look at this. I zoom in. I need to scroll to the left. 2 fingers on the touchpad. I go to the left, no problem. But now when I need to go to the right, you see now it wants to take me back a page. So I can't even go to the right. I just have to zoom out and then zoom in. Anyway, sorry. So what is this? This is the period. Every tornado is actually the periodic table because it's so chaotic. You might as well have all the elements at once in the tornado. I mean,
the other thing too he claims is that there's no such thing as a straight line in nature. So the fact that we like base everything off of straight lines doesn't make sense. It's like, well, what about architecture? Like buildings would fall over if we didn't try to make them as straight as possible.
No, that's what he said. Also, he said, think about it. This was his excuse for having sex with fat women. Is he said, think of a girl if she was as thin as a twig. You ain't want to do that. Y'all need the curves. That's why they know such thing as straight line. He explained it in the analogy of like wanting to fuck a fat bitch. He is what he said. But I was like, yeah, nice try,
There's
buddy.
a natural curvature to the body. It's like, whoa.
To the big ass.
So
How come this is what I mean when you ax in a question in class? The ax is the teacher.
they just try to cut your head off. And you know why they picked that periodic table over the other one?
Why?
It's because it's more readable. It's like, yeah, that's it. They're not trying to hide anything from you.
Yeah.
Now, whatever point he's making about frequencies and stuff, I don't know what that's all about, so I can't confirm or deny.
Oh, what did he say? He was saying that like when you meet a friend and you listen to a song together, which, well, hey, we'll get into that later. You have a shared experience which leaves a mark in your DNA, which is good. So if someone has cancer, you could somehow, he wants to find a way to take the DNA that's created or impacted when you like have a good memory with a friend and find a way to swap it out with the DNA that's cancerous as a way to cure
It's like
cancer.
modern medicine, too, is just like an easier way to do that.
Yeah. So play the greatest hits of rock and roll that
Yeah,
try
I'm
to cure
sure
cancer.
nobody's ever tried being happy. I mean, what are you supposed to do?
I know.
You can't do implanting memories.
I don't understand. Like, how do you go about doing that? You take
That would
out
piss
the
me
DNA?
off if that's what Neuralink is. They just decide to implant you with memories.
Yeah, it's probably gonna be ads if anything. You'd be
Damn.
like, dude, yeah, I remember when I was a kid and like the sweet taste of Coca-Cola is just a sip away. Go to the nearest vending machine or whatever. Autocorrect it to or navigate to
Let's
it.
look at some of these. None of the pictures. I'm more interested in the sort of esoteric diagram.
Okay, tell me
the
when.
weird shapes of triangles overlapping.
The Google calculator.
Oh my God, he pulled a calculator out on
Oh
the
my
show too.
gosh. Fucking Doc Brown from Back to the Future. How he done make
What's something he says? I've never seen those movies. since
Great
I was
Scott.
6.
Great Scott.
That's him.
Yeah, that's him.
That'd be hilarious if you're fucking with me. Okay.
No, it is really him.
Oh my God, look at this. In other words, they choose to ignore the 800-pound gorilla in the room. What?
Which is the curvature of the fat bitch I'd be fucking later.
Okay, that's it too, where he's like, those shapes don't exist. And it's like, well, they do. Because
We're looking at them.
Yeah. There's no rational number. I love too the idea of him thinking rational is like just, in place of like smart. It's like, man, I'm being rational with my numbers.
I've been rational. I don't know. Let's go to the end. Let's see what we got. He's got, damn. Oh, what's this? How come this is real if the straight line ain't
Wait,
even
what
real?
What was that math? You did not. 4 does not equal to +3 is. Well, I never mind. I want to look at this chart. Can we zoom in? All dimensions and shit.
Now it goes.
Yeah, so that's what his shapes were. It was the negative space in between all of these circles. Did you see his fucking airplane replacement, his helicopter replacement?
No.
Oh my God, we have to see if that is on YouTube after
Okay.
all of this.
Hang on. Do you want to? Okay. We'll scroll through this. I bet I could probably find it in the episode with the transcriptions.
It's a self-propelling elevator, Joe.
I love this
elevator.
this Facebook meme that he puts up. Lock up
What?
this cosmic
Dude,
knowledge.
Also, not only does he use like these memes throughout his book, in the interview he mentions Albert. He's like, Albert Einstein on his deathbed said, "I wish I would have studied, this other scientist more before I died." And Albert Einstein's like one of the most like quoted like on his deathbed he said something person. You know how that's a thing for people that lived a million years ago.
So it's like that's not even proven that he
No,
said
he
that.
just said that. He probably saw it on the same website he got the meme from.
Oh yeah. On Facebook, just scrolling the schizo Instagram.
Even Einstein liked my ideas.
Yeah.
That's kind of what he's saying. Because Walter Russell's the guy he's talking about. But Keeley and Russell, that's who he's ripping off. All
Okay.
of their ideas.
Yeah.
He's not coming up with anything either. Well, maybe the 1 × 1 = 2, but
Yeah, he can keep that. Albert Einstein said on his deathbed he wishes he'd done explored Tartaria more.
But it's like, even if 1 × 1 = 2, that doesn't change anything because he doesn't dispute that 2 × 2 = 4. So it would just change that one equation, right?
Yeah, I think so. Because he doesn't dispute that 13 × 1 is 13. You
Yeah,
wouldn't
we
think it's
should let
14.
him. Well, no, he probably does.
Yeah.
Okay, fuck, I don't know.
And Joe doesn't really ask him about that. Okay, we got to get out of this book. I got to find that. I want to see his helicopter idea. Hey, freak monkey.
Damn, Joe's wife is hot though. There's only like 2 photos of her in existence. I mean, she's not like I'd do her, but she's not my type. But
if you had to do her.
But Joe's really punching up. God, I hope he said helicopters. Oh my God. Oh, snap. Do you know, I was thinking today, you know, the food stamp program is called SNAP. You know,
Yeah,
I was thinking it's because when black people get up to the register, they go, oh, snap, I ain't got no money.
Snap, my card declined.
Damn, that's a good one.
This is like in Toy Story whenever they're flipping through the channels. Oh,
It's Neil deGrasse Tyson. World losses for many even people. This was about
I think we're getting close.
okay.
Keep going.
Yeah, because he's doing some wild gestures.
You could not have shade.
You could not have shade.
Are they
couldn't into the way balls exact one
Balls, yeah.
opposite.
All right, let's just cut it. Fuck it.
The part where he said balls was pretty funny.
God damn it. There's something about him talking about his stupid new technology, how it all ties together. Now he has his own self-propelling helicopter. It's that stupid shape that he keeps showing, but it's propelling in 8 different directions, and all it needs is water to power it, which is always the thing with those kind of contraptions. It just needs water.
Okay, so it's like this, actually. I've got to...
I really think we should just move on.
Hang on. We can cut around this.
All right.
So it's like this, and so he made it in Zelda. So basically, yeah, if you glue enough of these propellers that you find, this is the Terrence Howard Ugandan defense system. So there you go. There's your picture of it.
That's what he made.
So
okay, let's move on.
Well, we got to conclude. In conclusion, what did we learn from the debate?
I think both of us are right.
Hell yeah. So now we've got
Aaron Rodgers on Tucker Carlson. So there's not much to say on my end other than just some of the general takeaways, and that's just who Aaron is, that he's the most predictable person ever, that he falls into the trap of talking about. It's just like the person that when you bring up Fauci, they have to like get the smirk on their face.
Yeah.
It's like you could trick them that easily.
You could be like, I would like to rape your wife, but Dr. Fauci bad. And then they're like giggling, and then you can just, Does that trickle down to his football playing? Is he a very predictable player? Do they know how to tackle him, you know?
No, he's much better. This is, again, like we were just talking about these two black fellows, Kat and Clarence. Aaron is really good at football, maybe one of the best ever, but that doesn't mean he should step into literally any other domain.
Right.
So that's where he is. And then I don't know, is Tucker just keeps coming up with new shows, because this Tucker Carlson show is a different show, I think.
Yeah, like he said, he does it from like his dining room table, and but to him, like, that's a new show. Like it's completely different from my last show because it's at the dining room table.
Well, but is it actually being branded as a new show?
I don't know.
I don't think it's just because I thought it was like episode 1 with Aaron. Also, Tucker, who always is anti-drug, totally pussied out on saying like, I don't think you'd need those drugs, you know, because Aaron always has to do ayahuasca every year.
Yeah. Let me see.
The miracle drug that you have to do once every 12 months fixes all your problems if you do it once every 12 months.
I thought he was just talking about weed.
At one point, he brings up weed, but he went to Peru or wherever again this summer. So,
and that's where you go do ayahuasca
or Chile or wherever. Yeah, Peru, I think. No, I don't know. Argentina. No, wherever.
You know, you had dinner here before. This is actually our dining room table, as you know. You had dinner here last night.
Yeah.
And
you cleared a bunch of stuff out, though, right?
We just moved the chairs out, but we actually, I mean, this is our family dining room. And I just thought, I don't want to be in a studio anymore.
Yeah.
Okay, the Tucker Carlson show, is that, hang on, sorry. I'm going to have to do like a second of...
I know, I feel like it was just called the Tucker Carlson show before, but something tipped me off. I don't know if it was like in a separate playlist. Yeah, Tucker Carlson show only had 4 videos.
Okay.
That's why, and it was the first video, I think, in there. So I was like, oh, is this like a new show?
And then he has Uncensored, and then he has the Tucker Carlson interview, which maybe...
Oh,
That's not Putin.
Oh.
It looks like, I thought it was
No,
Putin
he's
for a
got
second
hair.
too. Yeah. Yeah, what the... Tucker on X. Okay, so there's something that needs to be done here. Tucker on X, Tucker Carlson Uncensored, which maybe just be his monologues. Remember when he was first on X and he would just do a monologue like in a webcam? Maybe that's what that is. Then the Tucker Carlson interview, and then Yeah, the Tucker Carlson show. So what are the other episodes?
I mean, it's a little weird for me because
okay, dinner table.
Imagine being Tucker's like social guy. That would be incredible. It'd be the easiest job ever. You just have to post like once every. Not the. Yeah, I don't know. There's somebody that's unless he does it himself. You think he edits his own?
No, he doesn't even use a computer. He doesn't look at screens. It'd be easy because he'd be like, "How are the videos doing?" And you go, "Great, dude, Tucker. If you were online, you would not believe the numbers you're doing. You can just lie to him all the time."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, dude, I did edit that. I did upload that, and it's like haven't even uploaded anything at all. But yeah, Aaron Rodgers, he is the white equivalent. So this is why we give two perspectives on the show, white versus black. We're
Yin
not
and
saying yin and yang.
Yeah, Asians are a whole other bag though.
Yeah, and that we will eventually.
We'll get to it. We have time. Not today, but eventually. Yeah, I don't think there's anything else with Aaron. He's just such an asshole. Honestly, if you want the best takedown of Aaron on a regular basis, I'm going to recommend Pro Football Talk with Mike Florio, the little Italian man who's not so little. Apparently he's 5'10". Well known in the sports world. He had one of the best websites, Pro Football Talk.
And he's not a fan of
He's
him.
a great writer. He was a lawyer. He breaks it down because he calls him the delicate genius, which I think is like a Seinfeld reference. But where Aaron's like, he only puts himself in these positions where like nobody is going to push back. You know, and that's what we've talked about. Like when Tucker and Chris Cuomo were together. Chris Cuomo?
Yeah.
How it's like they're so, they're not actually going to push back on each other that much.
Yeah.
That was more of a debate than anything Aaron's ever going to put himself in. So he's just like, if you don't respect me, then that's not my problem, kind of.
And the things that, like Chris and Tucker debated, it was like Chris was debating with Tucker. It was like, why are you so mean to me? It's like, why weren't you a little nicer to me? So it's like not actual issues. And then they can always get off on the whole, like, we disagree, but we sit in the same room and yet here we are jerking each other off. Aren't we so brave? And then, which is such a disconnected take because like most people interact that way and they don't make a fuss about it. And then, yeah, that makes sense though. Cause Aaron Rodgers, like you said, it's like all he needs to hear is like Fauci bad. And then that's it. And like Tucker's never going to be like, okay, you're saying a lot of things that I agree with, but how do I know you're not a fucking retard? Cause your head got pounded for 20 years, maybe I'm retarded cause you are saying this stuff cause you might have brain damage. Am I the retard? Like it could be a very good existential moment for Tucker, but that's never going to happen.
The other thing too is Aaron's always talking about how he's going to be canceled or how people want him silenced. And he's on during the football season. He's on ESPN every single week, like for 45 minutes talking.
That's also, the cancel culture has turned into its own like industry. And I don't know how people still fall for it, but what's actually weird? This is a side story, but Milo Yiannopoulos, he was unbanned from Twitter like a week ago. And I went on his Twitter and all of his tweets were from like 2016. And dude, it was like such a nostalgic trip. I was just like scrolling through it for like 30 minutes and I was like, wow.
Yeah, I did the same thing. What was weird is, what was it yesterday? I was telling you something. I like thought of it. And then the next day, it was Chocolate Rain.
Oh yeah.
I literally just thought of him, and then he popped up like in my newsfeed, and then we watched something. Well, then we watched something else that we'd seen before, but he was in it because it was his 42nd birthday.
Yeah, 42.
But I had the exact same thing where like I woke up the other day and I just thought of Milo. I jerked off. No, I thought of Milo, and then he was unbanned from Twitter. It was like the weirdest thing. So that's a little synchronicity for you.
Yeah.
But then I did the same thing as you. I went back, I scrolled through the 2016 stuff, and yeah, it's great. It makes me wish Twitter was still like that.
Yeah. I mean, Twitter's good. Twitter, what it is now, is kind of like that, but it's not the same.
No, anything controversial is like formulaic now, though. And back then it was just like a lot crazier. It seemed like it anyway.
Yeah, it was like more chaotic, where now like anything goes and people just like Hitler post on Twitter constantly and they'll be like, this was a great man. And then, well, like actually, this was briefly talked about on Lemon Party, so I won't take too much time, but Alex Jones on Hitler's birthday on 420 like had a video where he was like, Hitler was a failed dictator, blah, blah, blah. And like so many right-wingers were like, fuck you, Alex Jones, you pussy. Like you don't love Hitler like we do. It was crazy. Like not only to be like, well, what he did was very, it's hard to even talk about him, but he did a lot. He was a big problem that needed to be getting rid of. But you can respect the hustle. But no, that's not even the position people take anymore. It's like, if you don't love Hitler, you're a cuck.
Yeah, I don't know. The Hitler thing, it's always been kind of an easy answer because it's like, instead of just take Hitler out of the equation, right? Take the man out of the equation and just go, do you like fascist tendencies? All those people would say yes, so that's why they like him. Yeah. If you're normal, you don't, because you want freedom. You want your own way.
Yeah.
And guess what? Nazi Germany wouldn't have been good for white people either. You're stupid if you think so. It wasn't going to last. It wasn't going to be Utopia. Sorry. It wasn't. Did you see, speaking of right-wing Twitter, did you see Santos, the gay guy?
going off against like Nick.
Yes.
Yeah, he keeps he's on this crusade that Nick is a homo, which is like, what else is new?
It's gonna be bad if I start liking Santos. No, I'm kidding.
I do like him. You know?
He's been funnier since he stopped running the second time. So like in the last 2 months.
Yeah, he's very much against Nick and thinks he's gay, which everyone does. But Nick had like gay play on his stream like after his show, but there was like a watermark on it, so it was like very obvious that he was hacked. Now, again, not to say that he wouldn't look up gay porn or watch it or masturbate to it, but it's like he's not retarded. He wouldn't do it on his work computer, So everyone. No,
he
like,
definitely is somebody who's very anal, and I mean that in a lot of ways.
He'd be smart enough to know use the burner computer, use the gay porn computer, and
he makes those kind of sort of distinct lines in his life. There's boundaries, okay?
Yeah, his room is shaped like a swastika, and on the third quadrant, what they don't tell you, Joe, is on the third quadrant of the swastika, that's your goon cave. So, anyway, what else do we have?
Well, the only thing to put a bow on is we are going to be on Swastika Watch because apparently there's swastikas in every logo.
I did not say that. I said in a lot of logos.
Okay, well, every was obviously, I mean, every. Like, the Nike logo is not a swastika. I mean, duh, but.
What did I send you? I
don't remember. I didn't really see it because I was like trying to draw it with my finger like an idiot.
Oh, come on. I'll pull it up.
I mean, it was just 4 things shaped in different directions. So I guess, that qualifies.
Yeah, that is like the most swastikaic. Das right. Das is right. Yeah, that's right. Is what I said. Columbia Sportswear. I'll show you.
Colombian Sportswear.
Isn't the Olympic rings, wasn't that made by the Nazis or Germans?
Yeah, that's what we learned from the Alex Jones Alex Lee Moyer documentary, which is great. Check it out. 5 out of 5. I think I did give 4.5 out of 5. But
see, that's enough of a swastika to me.
Yeah,
great brand though. Must be very comfortable if they can beat the cancellation. So what do we have here? More in line with cancellation. You sent me this Huffington Post article. I don't know where we go. I mean,
so the article is from it's from 2017 October. I don't know why I said it like that. The day my son called me a faggot. This is for every child, straight or gay. A moment when he or she stops believing that his or her parent is omniscient. What does omniscient have to do with being gay or not? And they start to push the boundaries. My son had been playing with that line for a while. Then one day he called me a faggot. And so it's a gay dad. I guess it's a man, right? It has to be.
Oh yeah.
Only guys can be faggots.
Right.
And women have to be lesbians.
I mean, the lesbian would just beat the shit out of the kid like they do with each other. So.
Dude, people should add an F to the LGBTQF thing. And then when people ask, it's faggot. Yeah, I identify as LFBT.
I identify as a FGT. It's a shortened version. And then what is this? By Gay Dads with Kids contributor.
Wow, we should just open a new tab for that. Open in new tab. Just see if there's other posts to look at in the future.
My son also called me a and my son called me broken butthole. A broken butthole, yeah, from all those years of gay sex. No, broken butthole, a dad's tribute to a dedicated husband and father.
This really is like when Nick when Nick Mullen was doing the Nicole Mullen stuff. Like these headlines are the exact same.
10 things pulling me through my Thanksgiving funk. These dads traded in a London flat for a farmhouse in the French Alps. These dads...
Dude, doesn't that just look like satire? Like those fucking pictures are ridiculous.
Oh, put a bow in your head because you're gay. Oh, okay. Check out 2 Men and a Baby, a new YouTube series about 2 gay dads. So Dave Rubin and his husband.
Oh my God. What's wrong with that kid? He looks old.
Yeah.
No, the kid down there.
Oh,
the other kid's just a little. That's like not even a kid.
This is like a Donald Trump look like a thank you letter to get. I mean, what?
You don't see straight guys doing that.
No, they don't raise their kids straight ever. The F word. Emmy nominated director. Okay, so this is we're on faggot watch here.
Fart.
Looks like it's been a while.
The F word fart because they're always farting out of their butts because they have so much gay sex.
Yeah, always farting out of their ass. Yeah. I don't know where to go from here.
That's Tim Heidecker and Greg Hamburger. Greg Neil Greg Turkington.
Greg Turkeyton. You know what's ironic is that Greg Turkeyton, also known as Neil Hamburger, is a vegetarian. He's got 2 different names, 2 different meats for his names, but he doesn't even eat meat. I think he's vegan.
Here's a good post. Comedians are wrong about Norm
MacDonald.
I think this is a comedian. It might just be a cultural commentator. Pine Barren. I don't know who this is. Pine Barren.
Mountain man, ad man, landlord.
So, yeah, what do you want to read it in your voice?
Sure. When I hear the phrase aristocrat of the soul, the first name that springs to my mind is Norm MacDonald. He was obviously a genius, but there is a balance in all things. He also had extreme eccentricities. He never learned to drive, despite living in a famously car-dependent city like Los Angeles, which, if you're a celebrity, you don't have to know how to drive. But anyway, like Sir Isaac Newton with alchemy, Norm was obsessed with gambling. Like, that's like comparable, like the chalkboard and chalk.
Yeah, trying to turn, but it is turning shit into gold, and you are trying to make gold in gambling. So I do see how it holds up.
That's true. Okay, we'll give him a pass on that. Trying to find the hidden riches in esoteric numerical sequences. He played golf and tennis, literally me, aristocratic sports until the cancer that he never spoke about made it impossible for him. His great feats of sarcasm and irony made it possible for him to hide his earnest beliefs about Christianity and theology in plain sight, extremely rare for an entertainer of his era. I don't think that's true. I mean, I don't know. Like Norm MacDonald's religion, I think he was a Christian, but he said he would always consult a rabbi about any religious stuff because they just know more about the Bible.
Yeah, I don't think he was, how was it worded? Hide his earnest beliefs around Christianity. I think he openly, like, there's a viral clip, or I mean, it went viral, but it was on America's Got.
Yeah.
Or no, not.
It was like that show. I know what you're talking about.
Last Comic Standing, and somebody made a joke about the Bible, and he got into it with them about, like, the exactness of it. It's like, I don't think they would have been thinking that way in the Bible times. It was, like, really weird, actually. I don't actually agree with Norm. Because it was just a joke. A joke wasn't funny, but Norm was, like, trying to get into what actually happened.
It was a gay guy, and he said, someone quoted the Bible to me, and I said back to them, like, you're a wizard, Harry, so if you quote your favorite fictional book, I'll quote my favorite fictional book. And so he said that J.K. Rowling was a Christian, so that was not a fair comparison, which I kind of disagree with too. Like, a Christian can write a fictional story, but regardless, the joke sucked, and it's funny that Norm singled out a gay guy too. It was... But
the logic of the joke worked.
Yeah,
it wasn't funny, but it still worked. So I don't know why he got into it with him. But I think he had like a few other moments too. Maybe.
Let's see now. So Norm, the person disappeared in the work of Norm, the comedian. He truly lived a life of the mind. Which, okay. I mean, if you asked Norm about like him being smart, he would be like, no, I'm retarded. So he's not like, oh, I'm of the mind. It's so easy to imagine him as a gentleman of leisure, delighting saloon attendants in a salon attendants, excuse me. In a past era, no one deserved the Mark Twain Award more than him. There have been many tributes to Norm since his untimely death, but not as many as he deserves.
Okay, and then we'll let Dasha from Red Scare sum it up.
Glad Norm died so he didn't have to see shit like this.
Yeah, he didn't like this kind of stuff, and I don't know. It looks like it was written by ChatGPT. Like, please write something that's profound about Norm MacDonald. That's what I think.
Yeah, I agree. There's something, and what it makes me think of too is like the same thing we were talking about with like the roast. It's like there can never just be something good. We can't just enjoy a moment. We can't have just enjoyed Norm MacDonald's presence and all the abundance of clips. We have to go and be like, well, he was actually a genius. Oh, he was a philosopher. Oh, did you hear? Like, they try to take what he has said and like turn it into shit that it's not. And it's like, I don't know. Can we just enjoy what he's made? Stop trying to make a point because you're too stupid to make a point. So just enjoy the media. Don't commentate on it because you don't really know what you're talking about. And it's okay to not know what you're talking about.
No, I agree with you 100%. That should extend really to all forms of media because everybody just likes to jerk themselves off for liking something.
Yeah.
Or being able to have an opinion on it, even though that's what our show is, having an opinion on something.
It doesn't count with us.
But look, we're not sucking anybody's dick. We're being fair. That's it. That's what puts it. We're fair.
Right.
We say what's good and bad. And if you hate us and you just hear the bad things, then you're stupid. And if you hear just the good things, you're this guy, Pine Barren.
It's like this, I don't know where it originated from, but I think about like the earliest case of it in my life was like Spider-Man 3. Like, when Spider-Man 3 came out and like everyone hated it. And then a few years later, when YouTubers started making video essays, they would make a YouTube video essay that's like, Spider-Man 3 is not that bad, which is a true statement. And the guy goes through the video or goes through the movie, says it's not that bad. But then the people in the comments section want to get up to the top, the most liked comment. So then they'll say something insane like, I thought Spider-Man 3 was actually the best Spider-Man ever made. And then someone's like, I actually think it's the best movie
Two
ever.
villains.
Yeah, best movie ever made. And then everyone's scrolling. They see that comment and they go, oh, that must be the consensus that Spider-Man 3 is actually the best movie ever made. But then it just makes everyone stupid. I don't know. I don't know. This is something I've thought about a lot, and I don't know how to.
No, I agree with you. And there's
articulate
layers to it where the people just keep ramping it up.
Yeah.
And really, this is a good trick that I do. As soon as I start to like something, I find something to hate about it and then find a way to find why I like that thing I hate about it. And it just it's this ending, it's the dialectic process. Zizek talks about it, been on a Zizek kick. But that's what you got to do. You have to look at it from all angles.
Yeah.
You got to understand what it is. Spider-Man 3 is great.
Yeah.
Those YouTube essay people are right, probably. I don't know what they were saying, but.
And also, it's like, it can be true that even if Spider-Man 3 sucks, you can still like it. And that's the other thing that and I see that a lot with like Taylor Swift fans. They get so mad when people don't like Taylor Swift, but it's like, why can't you just say, I know it's shit music, or I don't care if everyone says it's shit, I like it. You know, that is a fair argument that cannot be refuted. But instead, a lot of Taylor Swift fans, they're like, no, you're just misogynist. You're just that. And it's like, I don't know. You can like whatever you want to like, and you don't need a reason why, because it's a feeling. Okay, let's go ahead and unless you have anything else to say.
No.
Sorry, I kind of peed it out there. Oh, no.
Right. Here's Joe Biden. So we all remember about a week or so ago, Joe decided to challenge Chump. Hey, Chump. Oh, yeah.
Come here, Chump.
He challenged Trump to a debate, and then somebody put a side-by-side of another video like a couple weeks before that, and you're going to see some weird stuff here. Is he AI?
Should we just let it roll like this?
Yeah.
And then, okay, so we don't even need to hear.
No, well, I want to hear it, though,
Okay,
because it's
just
funny
kidding.
just hearing it.
2020. Since then, he hadn't shown up for debate. Now he's acting like he wants to debate me. So let's pick your dates, Donald.
Oh, fuck.
Here you're free on Wednesday. Donald Trump lost 2 debates to me in 2020. Since then, he hasn't shown up.
So they they look like 2 completely different people. Do you think it's like lighting conditions? I don't know.
No, that's what I was going to ask you, because you'd know probably better than me. Could it be that, there he's got the ring light on his iPhone camera, and then...
I don't think so, because they're shot at the same like angle, you know? And in this video, his nose looks a little... No, the nose looks the same. No, it's a little puffier on the right. Something is with his eyes. Maybe he had like a facelift or something, or some cosmetic like injection, and he's just like fresh off of that or something. But because I don't believe the Joe Biden clone conspiracy, because it's like, if they cloned him, why would they still make him like a retard? You know?
Well, maybe they can help, because if you clone a retard, it's not going to be you can't turn that into like a genius.
Oh, that's true.
But the other thing too is did he finally, because he just looks so pale and old all the time, and then he decides to get the Trump spray tan when he challenges Trump.
A little brush up there. Yeah, you can definitely
But maybe
see
that's
it.
what he did. He did that to trigger Trump's brain, because it's like Trump sees red and he knows it's like time to go in for the kill.
That's true, yeah. And where he's like, this guy's doing my tan all wrong. I got to go in and debate him. Him and Connor O'Malley with that mid-sentence scream. I don't have egg money, brother.
Those guys are total pussies, though, for not debating RFK.
Yeah.
But it's not. It has everything to do with just keeping like the 2-party system thing, which I know.
Yeah.
Everybody's always talking. Oh, you get the 2-party system.
Right.
So bad. He's at like 15% in some polls. It's like there's no reason he shouldn't be debating.
And, you know, tip to Joe Biden and Trump, if you want to win easy, you let him give his first speech and you go, excuse me, I didn't understand a word he just said. Anyway, moving on.
Was his mic cutting out every other second?
Yeah. Whatever that guy's on, I'll have double.
This guy thinks he's a Kennedy or something.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with why his eyes are so open.
I know. Well,
right?
his face is like relaxed and his eyes are open, but I don't know. It's weird. And they look like they might be different colors too. Maybe a little darker on the left, on the right they're a little brighter, which could be the camera, you know, but
it could be the whole Adderall conspiracy too. He's hyped up on the left. He's got a little bit more, you know, they shot him in the ass. He's ready to go.
Injected him with that straight up Adderall. Which you would think maybe you wouldn't want to give to an 80-year-old, you know, if it's a stimulant. What if he like dies?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
No, I mean, they probably have the dosage down. The other thing too, the only other explanation is the one on the left was cut like 6 times in 15 seconds or whatever it was.
Yeah.
This, he maybe he was doing like a longer thing, so he had to be like glued onto a teleprompter.
Yeah.
This, he could probably remember the first 3 words of the 8 words he'd get in before he had to start reading.
That's true. Yeah, a different face for no, that could actually very much be it. Because when you're on, like us, we talk more like how we actually talk. But if we were to give like a short message, I mean, you just hear us in the intro. It's like it almost sounds like a pre-scripted thing that we thought about. Then when we get into the nitty gritty, that is, then we
do the gritty.
Yeah. Then we get into the left Joe Biden mode. But
so that's Joe. We probably should.
Now we're getting ready for this Jake Paul and Mike Tyson. They've been feuding, and I'll be honest, this feud for the boxing match is better than Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul's. That was so retarded. I hate Dylan Dennis, that dumbass midget.
No, the payoff was worse, but I think the whole time it was going on, it was better.
Right.
Like, this to me is not. I don't give a fuck about this fight at all.
But
I wanted Logan Paul to be murdered.
Right.
And then he won easily, and the payoff, it made it all. I immediately unfollowed Dylan Dennis.
Exactly. Danus, Dick in his anus. How about that? And he like got disqualified because he like kicked during the boxing fight, and like immediately he like threw the fight and lost immediately too. It's like so stupid. But yeah, the buildup was funny, like him just always shitting on his fiance. But I don't know. Yeah, it was a very disappointing fight.
So here we got Jake.
Yes, so he's doing some like cool moves here just to try to tease Tyson.
I think honestly, on some level here, he kind of wants to see if he can get Mike Tyson to punch him. Because then he probably has some kind of payout. Like if he hits you before the fight, you still make like a certain amount of money.
Oh yeah.
No, I'm joking. That's not real. None of my theories are ever real.
Taking on the baddest man on the planet.
Mike wanted to punch him, though, Mike, he's ready to snap.
Stadium.
It's really like Jake and Logan never figured out how to, I don't know, they're pretending to be cool. They're doing what you think you should do to be cool.
Yeah.
Like, so the stare down at a wrestling thing, it's like, okay.
They're both standing like Buzz Lightyear, too. In Toy Story when he's in the box and he's got
what
his,
the fuck, dude, he's going to shoot an innocent black man? He's
yeah. He's doing the Derek Chauvin. And then when Buzz Lightyear's out of the box, he's in that pose because he doesn't see Woody, When it loops, you'll see what I'm talking about. Come on. Yeah, Buzz Lightyear in the box versus Buzz Lightyear out of the box. That's the comparison.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
So, no, I'm looking forward to the fight. I think it'll be exciting. I think Jake is probably going to win because he's younger and he's probably a good enough boxer to beat an old man. But
all right, the big one, the big boy, Apple Top 100.
Yep. So you've heard Rolling Stone do it. You've heard
Spotify.
Rate Your Music.
I use Spotify because of this.
Yeah.
Once I saw this list, I was switching to Spotify.
I will take it a step further. I use YouTube Music. Okay, so we're gonna go through this. Everybody's been talking about this. Every 10 days every day they would release 10 albums. At the day that we are recording this, they release the final 10. So we're just gonna kind of go through it and give our commentary because our most viewed video is us giving commentary on another band. So here we go. So they say right from the get-go, this is the Apple Music definitive list of the greatest albums ever made, saying that they assembled with the help of artists, experts. It's a modern love letter to the records that have shaped the world that we live in and listen to.
Modern it is.
Yes, that is the key word. I would love to see a documentary on like the idea behind assembling this. It's almost like a boardroom of people like suggesting I like albums, and then like a black person comes in, they're like, "What about
No, don't spoil anything. What the hell's your problem?"
There's a lot of black albums. I didn't spoil anything.
Okay, well, number one's definitely not a black thing, people.
No.
Okay. Don't know.
Yeah.
We'll do this since. Okay. Yeah, that probably had to make the list for the Eagles. I don't like the Eagles.
I don't
know. Are we going to comment on all of them? Because I probably could.
Okay.
Not all of them. I don't know that.
So don't know, don't care, don't want to know.
But that one has sicko mode on it.
Oh, okay.
Which is it's a funny.
Shitting his pantsy on dicko mode. Wait, can I do it with arrows? Oh, what? Come on. What? I have to like spam it.
Wait, can you click the arrow though? Can you drag your mouse over there
right,
and just click it? Wait, but then it takes you back.
Okay.
That's
whatever.
Stupid as fuck, but whatever. I don't know. We need a system of getting through this.
Okay. You got something to say about this?
No.
Okay, I will say this was improvised, by the way. It was originally just supposed to be a picture of the monk, but he lit himself on fire for the album cover, and they rolled with it. And he is burned to this day.
This is too low. I didn't know that about the album. I don't know if you're joking or not.
I just made that up. Yeah.
Okay, cool.
We both love this album. Let's
Same.
just get right in there.
Yeah.
When did you discover this?
Damn, are we actually going to go through every album? This is what I'm just trying to figure out. We didn't think this through.
Sure. If we want to talk about it, we
Okay.
should. This is a big album. This is like a 4.5 for both of us. So we should stop and talk about it.
This is a great album. Speaking of Zizek, the whole album's really about class struggle. A lot of the themes are just about being poor, basically.
Mm-hmm.
I can relate, so I like it. I like those songs where it defined an era. That's what I said yesterday. That was my very brave and bold thing to say. It defined an era because it seemed like, and you said this, I'll let you say it. Everybody kind of took from it.
I don't remember what I said.
Because this was really, what was this, 2014, 2015?
Maybe 2012? Yeah, it was earlier.
2013, we'll compromise.
Okay.
It influenced the rest of the 2010s, like the synth pop sound, or whatever you want to call it, electro pop.
And it kind of added, it sounds like kind of new wavy almost. And I re-listened to this. I actually re-listened to it today and like a few months back because there's something about springtime in this album. I don't know, like when I did track in high school. So it's like there were all these like dark, rainy, gloomy days. And this album was just like the perfect album to play whenever I was just like out running and stuff. And I don't know, there's, like you said, like the class struggle. There's like such a dark sadness to the album, but also like a weird sense of optimism. This sounds like so pretentious, but this is just how I feel when I listen to it. And I don't know, the songs are really well made. They've all stood the test of time, even though I don't like the song Royals. But I like the rest of the album, and the album like surprisingly held up. And so I don't know. When did you start listening to this?
Well, I think I didn't listen to the album for a long time. I just listened to like the 5, because half the album was singles.
Yeah, like Tennis Court and
Team, Royals, and I feel like there might have been one more.
Gory and Glore, I think.
I worked at a Burger King for 2 months, and a girl there that I wanted to fuck kept singing Tennis Court or whatever. So
that's where you.
That was my start to it. It wasn't anything as profound as yours.
But you stuck around, and
I stuck around. The album's great. I don't know what else to say about it, really.
Yeah, I thought she was like, and I was a teenager because I think this album came out when she was like 15. I was like 14 or something, so I thought she was cute, and I was like, maybe I'll listen to her. She got so ugly. She looks like a fucking lizard now, by the way.
Yeah, but it's kind of a cool thing, you know. But it's not, well, it's not lizardy in the way like the Kardashians are, where you're like, that's so lizardy, it might be fun.
Yeah, yeah.
It is full-blown lizard. I think she looks a little bit better now. I saw a photo recently-ish.
Her, I'll just show you, maybe.
But no, it's just her face structure or something. She looks so fucking weird. New Zealandish.
Yeah, like she's looking for a Kiwi. I'm on the run for a Kiwi. Yeah, great music. Seriously, if you've never checked this album out, it is worth a listen, at least. So, okay, so we've got... I don't have anything to say about this.
We can go through it now.
Okay. You just tell me when to stop.
Beyonce, Sister No Way. This is a gay Tyler, the Creator album. Everybody loved it. I'm not surprised. That's the other thing, too. We got to make a distinction. Not surprised it's on the list. Wouldn't have put it on my list if I was going to put a Tyler album.
What's his definitive, what's his best one? Like
okay, probably is this because he does sample like Roy Ayers or something, I think, in it. But no, I like Cherry Bomb, but that's definitely not the best. There's no reason that should be on this list. So, no. Nah. Not surprised.
Yeah. Not surprised. I don't know what that is.
Fuck her. Nah.
I've actually never listened to her.
I've listened to Snoop Dogg, though. Uh-oh.
I haven't listened to this.
This is great. That's a great album. It's good 90s rap, Doggy Style. Great album cover. Great album cover. It's on my album cover list. It's got to be. Just because he's reaching for another. So that another dog snooping on him. There's funny blurb on there. We can't zoom in. That would be a disaster if we tried.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
I don't know. Don't care, but that's ridiculous, though. No, Neil Young can suck one.
After the gold rush.
I went to Spain. Down in Spain, I found I had no brain. I don't know where I was going with that. This is a good one. I don't know if it's the only Eminem.
I don't either.
Real Slim Shady. Wait, no, not the real. What am I thinking? The Slim Shady LP. This is his best.
Okay.
It was his second album. That was when he was, most angry. He wasn't totally famous yet, but he had enough to just start talking shit, about being famous. And Real Slim Shady was on that album, which isn't the best song, but
this is a very iconic one.
I don't know if Role Model's on that one when he says he was going to rip out Hillary Clinton's tonsils or whatever. Okay.
Have you listened to Lana Del Rey?
I have, but like once.
Yeah, I had only listened to like Ultraviolence, and it was just boring. I
had a friend in college, Nick, who liked her a lot, and I just like never played that shit again. No, but it was just definitely he liked definitely I feel like I sound like Rain Man or whatever.
I just think that her music is like for girls who have cut themselves and like gay men.
And that's the kind of girl he was gonna attract.
Gotcha.
So it worked out for him.
So I could never really get into her.
Elton John rules, but I just found out recently, and maybe I'm stupid for this, that he didn't write his own like music.
I thought you were gonna say that he's gay. I was like, dude, I gotta wait till you find out about Queen.
Did you?
But he didn't write his own, so he's like Elvis.
Yeah, he's full of shit.
Damn.
But that album does rule. I like that song, Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, about the Munchkins.
This is crazy. There is no way that he is top 100 albums of all time good. Hey, Bad Bunny, sí, un mal bonito. I don't know who this is. Maybe she deserved it. This is on my back burner of music to listen to because I did see the gay tennis movie Challengers, and the soundtrack was really good, and so I like Trent Reznor, so I've been meaning to actually listen to this. Have you ever listened to them?
Yeah, I don't know if I've listened. I don't think I've listened to this album. And I think I looked at my Rate Your Music page and I hadn't rated them, but I've definitely listened to enough Nine Inch Nails. I like them. It's just, you got to be in the mood for it because there's a whole atmosphere that they're creating. And I don't know if I want to be in that. It's a little scary and spooky at times. But I will say their performance on The Return, season 3 of Twin Peaks, all-time performance. It was in episode 8, which is the whole cosmology episode where they show the creation. It's the black and white episode. And that performance was awesome. And we're going to watch it after we're done recording.
Okay. Dude, my wife fucking played this in the hood. Absolutely, number 73.
God, you have to watch this last week's episode to get that. Bill Burr loves Steely Dan. I like Steely Dan too, believe it or not. I like yacht rock, so... But you know who else does? Tim Heidecker.
Really? That's not a surprise to me.
I don't think he's had a yacht rock album almost.
Scissors. Now this I'm surprised by that this was the pick. I feel like the Computer World and the Man Machine, I think
that's the one I would have picked probably.
The Man Machine. That one is like their definitive album. I mean, this is a great album too. I love it, but I just wouldn't have expected it to be here. But I'm glad it's here. I wouldn't have expected them to make the top 100 list. So I don't know. I love Kraftwerk.
Yeah, you're a bigger Kraft. I don't dislike them or anything. I'm just not as into them. Now this we can't say because we'd have to bleep it.
Yeah,
and I'm not going to give you more work. But it's Inwards with Attitude, straight out of Compton. I like it. I'm not surprised. I am surprised there's this much 90s rap on the top 100, but that's whatever.
I've only listened to I've listened to America, the KKK. I don't know if that's NWA or if it's just Ice Cube, but I mean I enjoyed it. I thought it's also just kind of funny when the songs like circulate. It's like track 1, like I fucking shot my bitch in the stomach, and track 2 is like I deal drugs and I'll fucking kill you if you look at me, and then track 3 is like, why don't the cops like us? I think they're racist. Then the next track is like, I kill a bitch with my bare hands. And it's like, I don't know. It's just funny, but
yeah. It's not surprises on the list.
Yeah.
We both love this album. You love it more. I'm not going to yuck your yum. That's not how you use that expression.
You may love it more, actually.
Well, in the scope of all things Strokes, it makes up more of my brain importance because I don't care about the Strokes as much as you.
I'm glad it made the list, and
every song's perfect, and every song flows into the next song perfectly.
Yeah, it should be higher, I think, but I'm also glad it just made the list. I don't know. I also started liking the Strokes in like the early 2010s when like no one liked the Strokes, so it is kind of weird to me because the other day we were looking at their music video views and they have like tens of millions of views, so they're super popular. So that is just like odd to me that they're finally like people are recognizing them as a great band, and I think now they're like solidified as like one of the best bands of this century. So anyway, sorry, this is my favorite. Just kidding, I don't know anything about it. This is like the only Smiths album, so I guess
that's the one. Yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised it's on the list.
Yeah, you know this.
I've listened to this. It's overrated.
Haven't listened to it. Don't know.
Listened. Jimi Hendrix, I'm not a fan of. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I fucking hate this list. I'm so sorry, people. This is why you're getting this negativity out of me. Jimi Hendrix, whatever. I couldn't do that with my hands.
Yeah,
I couldn't do that with my hands. I couldn't move them like that.
Did you hear the story about how he played the guitar upside down? Oh. You mean like an idiot? Have you heard my story about how I put my shirt on inside out? Wow, cool. You don't hear everyone idolizing me about it.
Yeah, and they didn't tell you that the strings were still in the same order.
Oh, yeah.
And so it makes the same sounds.
So that's the second piece of the story they don't tell you.
I love this album, Tupac Rules. He's the best of the best. Biggie sucks balls, and he's gonna Biggie balls, Biggie smalls, Biggie sucks balls, and he's probably gonna be higher on the list. And you know what? Biggie died when he was like 23. He didn't accomplish shit. He had like 3 good songs on one album. Fuck off, Biggie, you fat fucking loser. West Coast all the way. Except that I like East Coast and all other aspects more, except Jay-Z. So if we could swap Tupac and Jay-Z, I'd be all about the East Coast.
Gotcha.
Oh, and Biggie. Biggie, Jay-Z, move him to the West Coast. Move his ashes to the West Coast. Move Tupac's ashes, I guess, or whatever, to the East Coast, and I'll be happy.
The geopolitical rap battle list.
Nobody's talking about Southern rap. Hey, Outkast.
Midwest rap. That's fucking Kanye, right? Illinois. This is the most egregious thing on the whole list to me.
Yeah.
This album is good and all that stuff. You know, also, fun fact, I always do like a Bob Dylan impression. It turns out I've been doing a Lou Reed impression. So maybe I need to give Bob Dylan another chance. It'd be only fair.
Let's hear your Bob Dylan Lou Reed.
So I would do I'd be like, suck a penis. I'm retarded.
No, it says the name.
I'm gay. But that's a Velvet Underground song.
Oh, the song, you're literally just taking the words from
the melody. Those aren't the words of the
song. Right. I just accepted that to be the song.
As Lou Reed.
Okay, I thought you just meant the voice because it's still like nasally like Bob Dylan, but Lou Reed isn't.
He is. Here, I'll play a second of it.
It's wait, that's Lou Reed, right?
Yeah.
Perfect Day.
I was walking to my telephone. Did you hear it ring? What's the song?
That was
the song Telephone. You know it. Sunday morning. Okay, it is.
It's
different.
more raspy.
Yeah.
Sunday penis. Suck my penis.
But this is a good album. I do like it. This is the next part though. Is
Andy
like,
Warhol sucks.
Mm-hmm. Do you know he had like a below? He was like mentally retarded. Like they tested.
I mean,
his IQ.
look, he just. I did something with the banana recently in Photoshop to look better than that.
It's like I imagine like 2 Andy Warhol fans like debating his best piece. Like, well, I really liked banana. Oh yeah, well, I really liked soup. You know, like they just sound like 2 babies just debating what baby food was best. Well,
banana morning.
Everyone was like, Andy Warhol once said, everyone gets their 10 minutes of fame, but he could only count to 10. So that's where that quote came from. So they kind of misinterpret what he said. And he would like cut his hair on his wig because he thought the hair was growing or something.
He was the one that cut his ear off too, right? Because his wife died and he had syphilis.
Yeah.
Okay, what's next?
So this is the next step that's like, honestly, how dare you? This is insane. So number 60, Velvet Underground. Number 59 is The Morning from the Arctic Monkeys. Let me tell you my theory about this album. Okay. Arctic Monkeys, their first few albums are like great. They're awesome. Their first album is like up there with Is This It? And a lot of people got into Arctic Monkeys a few years after their most previous album release. So they went, damn it, I really want to be a part of a new Arctic Monkeys album. I don't care how shitty it is. I'm going to love it. And then they came out with this hunk of shit, dog shit, diarrhea album. And then everyone just said it was good because it was their Arctic Monkeys album.
Arctic Monkeys was like one of the first bands that I knew was just like made for people like slightly below retarded.
Really?
Just total retards, I guess is what they'd be called. I knew that they were trash. And also, what's with the album cover? Is this a generic MP4 file that you don't have the cover art? MP3? Fuck.
That's okay.
But what's with you calling it The Morning? I'd never give
AM.
them... Right.
Yeah.
But you're giving them the... Do they call it The Morning?
No, I just called it that on the spot.
Okay, then that's you being genius. I thought that was like they named it AM, but you have to call it The Morning. No, sort of like MGMT's management, but nobody says management or whatever.
No, that was my roast on them. Arctic Monkeys released AM. What are they, The Morning? You know? Anyway, because only your fucking grandpa would listen to this shit. This ain't your grandma's album.
I remember too, I was talking to this girl and she was suggesting all of this music to me. And that this was like the breaking point where I was like, no more. Because it was like Two Doors Cinema Club or something. I was like, okay, one of these songs is okay. Maybe 2 of these songs is okay. I'm not listening to the whole album. I can't remember what else was in or what else she was suggesting at that time. But Arctic Monkeys, and I was like, no, this is shit.
You don't like even their early stuff?
I probably have given them good enough ratings, but no, I would never go back and listen to it.
Gotcha. Well, this one is by far, the one that came out after is worse. But this is like, if you like this album, like you should reconsider what is actually good music, please, because this album sucks dick. I just had a deja vu moment. I'm sure I've done that before.
Why? Because we say everything sucks dick on this show every week. That's just what we do, man. Everything sucks.
What's the story? Morning Glory. That's an awful hot coffee pot. I haven't listened to this album, but
No, but is this what their one song is on?
Probably.
Okay. D'Angelo, this is infuriating. I love Black Messiah so much more than Voodoo. This is crap. Black Messiah is really good. Modern soul, funk, 2010s. I don't know when it came out, like 2015 or something.
Mm-hmm. I don't know.
That album's so good. Listen to that instead. Voodoo's not as good, but honestly, if you like that, you should probably listen to both. So I don't think it should be this high on the list. I think the other album could be. That's how high I think it should be.
Gotcha. I can't contribute. I haven't listened to them, so I'm taking your word for it. This is probably...
Check out our Cure video, people. We've done a whole Cure video. It's not our favorite album.
Yeah, no, it's not. But I get why it would be considered their best, I guess, even though it's like third for both of us. We don't listen to Rihanna, or do you? Okay.
I don't know that album.
I don't know.
This is the jazz standards from it. Great album. It should be on the list, honestly.
Gotcha.
I don't know. I would have to it's just, the whole thing is how do you put all these in relation to others? Because the best jazz albums don't even compare to the best other albums in my brain. They're just different worlds.
I was going to say, at the beginning, as weird as this list is, I kind of have to give them respect for it's a very difficult task to assemble the top 100 albums. Even if we had to agree upon 20 albums that are the best between the both of us, that would be very hard to do. So I almost can't shit on them fully, but yeah, sorry.
I know. I think you almost just gave us a task.
Yeah,
we have to come up with our 20 best albums ever
that we both agree upon. I don't know if it's 20 albums that
it's just gonna. We already know it's gonna be on the list though, when we're just gonna probably
debate the order.
Yeah,
but we at some point should present that to people too, and I think it'd be a cool, fun little project. But okay, anything else to say about this guy?
No.
Okay, Rolling Stones is here. Sorry. And then whatever about this. Should have been Aerosmith.
Prince does show up later. We had that conversation yesterday. He will be on the list again. We were surprised it wasn't another album.
Yeah.
You were surprised because you're a big Prince guy.
Yeah.
This was going to be on the list for sure.
Kate's Bush.
Has there been a single country album though?
I don't think.
I don't know if there would be, but I feel like Dolly Parton's got to be on the list, right?
Well, coming up, we got a country boy. Yeah. Okay, here we go. Is this country? No, just kidding. We don't even spend time.
Beastie Boys. That's good though. That's their main album.
Yeah.
No, they had other ones, but I mean
the Airplane one I think is Licensed to Ill.
Oh right.
I'd never heard of this one, but
no, that's their main one. I mean, that's the most famous, I think.
I listened to. They had one that came out in 2013ish called I don't remember what it was called, but they had a music video called "Make Some Noise," and Elijah Wood, he does the voiceover for the main guy. So the whole time when I would see Elijah Wood acting in movies, I was like, oh, I didn't know that the lead singer of the Beastie Boys was also an actor, because I just thought that Elijah Wood was literally the main guy in the Beastie Boys. You want to move on? Sorry.
Oh, no, it's good.
Okay.
No, I mean, Drake fucking blows. He sucks. I don't know Bob Marley's discography.
Yeah, I don't either.
I'm not surprised he's on the list. I don't know that he did anything. I feel like he just had some good songs.
Yeah.
He's one of those artists that never really was an album person.
It's like Elvis and Michael Jackson. That's kind of what I think about them, actually. Is I can't think of a good Elvis album.
No, Michael Jackson's a bad example. He's literally number 2 on the list.
I know,
Spoiler.
but it's I don't think of... I mean, Thriller's a good album, but I always just think of
Bad was a good album too, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know. Look,
I think the Jackson 5 even had albums.
Okay, when he died, VH1 didn't play his discography for me. They only played his music video. So I think that is why I think of him as a songs guy. So that is my mistake. That is my fault. But I will say that is true with Elvis. His songs are remembered. No one really remembers his albums. And you're saying that is true with Bob Marley.
Maybe.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
That was my assumption. I don't know. Maybe Exodus was the one album that he really put together.
In the Bob Marley movie, they did hype it up where, they were this Jewy record executive was like, what if this was on the label and it was a bunch of different pictures? And then Bob was like, how about just a word on the record, man? If it's good, people like it, And then that's why they did it this way. Anyway, okay. Bjork, BJ.
I've definitely listened to this, but it's another thing where I don't know the ins and outs of her albums. I don't remember what was on what. I know I like this album. Doesn't Grimes or somebody sample? Death Grips worked with Bjork, or did they just sample her at one point?
I think they sampled her, but they did a whole album with her voice samples.
Right. And Death Grip's not on the list, which is bullshit. Whatever. I mean, if you can put some of this 2010 stuff on here. How about this? Our first Stevie Wonder sighting, even though he couldn't see him himself. Inner visions, which is what he tells himself to cope with being blind. Oh, I have visions that are inside of me. I can still see. It's just an inner vision. Yeah, okay.
As Stevie Wonder once said, which he stole this from Ray Charles, I may be blind, but at least I'm not black. So...
I love Stevie.
I've only listened to a few songs of his, and I do like them, but I don't have anything to say about them. I can't contribute. I feel like this may not be their best album. I mean, it makes sense.
It's the most popular.
Right. Same thing with Disintegration. May not be my favorite album, but I get why it's on there.
I want to know who made this list, though, because it's like, is it just a bunch of black people? And I know that sounds racist or whatever, but I'm just asking because there is a lot of new black stuff. I mean, I'm surprised D'Angelo's on the list, the guy, Black Messiah. But then it's like when they put in the white guy music, I mean, there's nothing whiter than Talking Heads.
Right.
And they just put the memed version, They just Velvet Underground. I mean, of course they're going to put that album, but we both love Talking Heads.
Yeah.
That's our positive to say. No, I don't know.
I don't know who she is. No, I'm just kidding. Never heard of her. I haven't listened to this album. I have listened to I don't remember which album, but the other one that's probably famous. Not the one that had Hey Ya, but the Roses song, Roses really.
I think that was the same album though.
Okay. That I've listened to.
Yeah, this was I think their first big one, maybe
Gotcha.
their second album. It maybe even say Outkast 2 on it. I don't know. The best Outkast song is Go to Church or whatever, something like that. It's really good.
Take me to church.
Yeah, that's it. I was with my mom one time. That's really funny you did that, because one time I was with my mom and I said something like my favorite. I literally was this conversation. I was like, my favorite Outkast song is Church. And she's like, that makes me think of the whatever.
The Hoiser.
Yeah, Hoosiers.
Hooters. Shit. Okay. Shit. Were you done on them? Okay. Yeah. Whatever, lady. RPS.
I feel like Aretha Franklin was somebody else too, and like Diana Ross, they weren't album people. They just performed like these traditional standard songs most of the time. I mean, they had their own music, but
I get why this is revolutionary, because it had the song Respect on it, and it was the first time in recorded history.
A doctor of letters. It was the first time we had proof that somebody was a doctor of letters.
Yeah. I've never listened to...
This is obviously going to be on the list. 100%. It's good, but it's, it's just, to me, a lot of the 90s rap doesn't have replayability. It's like, when I'm going to listen to the same boom boppy crap over and over again.
I don't know if I've listened to this album.
4.5. Well, yeah, I didn't even know. I knew if I knew numbers there for a second. 4.5 out of 5. Doctor of Numbers. 4.5 out of 5 for me. And Rate Your Music. Sentimental album though, so a little gay. This rules. I love Wu-Tang Clan, but I love Old Dirty Bastard a lot more.
Yeah, I'm not a big Asian fan of music. I guess I haven't listened to a lot of Chinese music, so no, I really haven't listened to Wu-Tang Clan, so I can't even pretend like I like. I do like. I did the Eazy-E. What's the Eazy-E album? Because he was in NWA. What's the? Gosh, it's like his most popular album. I've listened to that and I like that.
I don't even know Eazy. That's the one person I don't know from. I mean, I don't know like what albums.
Yeah. It's on the tip of my tongue, but I don't care. He's not on the list. Then we've got Beyonce by Beyonce. It's like whatever. I've not listened to this album.
Again, it's like this is just every white person that ever made a list. That's what I'm trying to say. Anybody who's making a top 50 list that was a white person at Rolling Stones, they got their cake here. And get to eat it by saying, "Look, we were right about the Clash. We were always saying that was a good album. It's good."
I've never heard it, so more.
I don't know. I don't think I've listened to that. Radiohead was going to be on the list.
Yeah.
33, Masonic Number.
It's a good album.
Nope, no way. Notorious, FAG, FAT, Fatso.
And then we've got Alanis Morissette. I didn't realize I thought she was a one-hit wonder. I didn't know she had a good album. I might have to listen to this.
It's a good album. Her lyrics are really weird. Sometimes they don't make sense, but then they're kind of funny for that reason. And the other thing about her too is, you remember in the Ironic music video, which we've all seen, there's multiple versions of her talking to herself.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's really what I think is going on inside of her head. So I do think she's a little crazy. Name one genius that ain't crazy. Kanye. That's his lyric, right? Name one genius that ain't crazy.
This is such a surprise. This is okay, they let the Target shopper sit in the writer's room when they made this list. I get that people like Billie Eilish, and features about Billie Eilish, but I don't understand why this would be top 30. There's no way this album is that good. I know this.
It was written about like. It was written about, what am I trying to say? It was written about like it was a great album though, that it was going to be like kind of like the Lord of her generation, that it was going to influence, and it had this weird minimal thing because, you know, like the bad guy or whatever is so minimal, there's nothing happening. But that top 30, Alanis Morissette put a lot of work into Jagged Little Pill, for Christ's sakes, and Billy's going to be in the top 30 for doing Dun Dun Poopa Peter Griffin.
Dinner rolls.
Dinner Peter. I'm Stewie singing, now I'm Billy. Yeah, look up Family Guy impressions as Billie Eilish.
Which she stole from Family Guy for that song too, that people don't even realize that. So no, this is a fluke. This should not have happened, but because the people at Apple Music are like retards, again, we can't, everyone wants to get mad at the list. Let's be logical here. Let's use our Terrence Howard math and figure out, when you throw retarded people in the room to make an ambitious list like this, you're going to get some really stupid decisions. And that's just what we're looking at. And then we just move on and it's okay. I haven't listened to this. Have you?
Great album, deserving at 29.
This is a great album, deserving at 28. And dare I go as far to... No, I'm kidding. I haven't listened to this.
All right, there's a little inside thing here you guys don't know. Steve hates Led Zeppelin. I like Led Zeppelin, despite the fact that Logan Paul listened to it and loved it, and that everybody listens to it and likes it. Led Zeppelin 4 should be the one on the list. If this actually breaks from my theory that they're putting on the cookie cutter white boy stuff, because Led Zeppelin 2, I guess it would be the next up for sure, because 1 and 3 aren't as good as 2. So 4 is the best. And the reason I thought 4 would be on here is because of Kashmir and Stairway to Heaven. So I'm glad they made it this high on the list.
I guess I'll say this in my defense of not liking Led Zeppelin. Every kid, every Zoomer is like predisposed to loving like a 70s and 80s like rock band. And you were just picked with Led Zeppelin and I was picked with Aerosmith. And I don't even really think Aerosmith is like good or anything, but for some reason when I think 80s hair band, I think Aerosmith. I don't know. But,
yeah, I mean, it's not even, they're not even in the same class, but
right, and I understand
you can
that.
like what you like.
This seems low.
Of all the rap crap we're about to see coming up, this should have been the highest.
Yeah.
And, you know, over time, I don't think it's my favorite album anymore. It's probably still on, like, Rate Your Music, my highest rated of his, but, because I probably like Yeezus more, honestly, but it doesn't surprise me. I think this is way too low for it. And fucking Daft Punk, you see him coming up, for God's sake. The Miles Davis thing was tough. You could have done Kind of Blue, or you could have done Bitches Brew, which would be more of like the psychedelic era of him. This is more of the old school smooth jazz. I don't know. He says Columbian Records. He wasn't a Blue Notes guy. I'm kind of a Blue Note record loyalist. Herbie Hancock.
Oh, gotcha.
Which Headhunters is not on this list. If it doesn't come, that's crazy. I didn't even realize this. Headhunters by Herbie Hancock's on the list. Best jazz album ever. And everybody used to agree on that. So I don't know. It's here.
Yeah. Cool. Good job, guys. Whatever. This one, whatever. I don't like Bruce Springsteen.
Bruce Springsteen sucks. Yeah. He's literally, it's like, who wants to listen to working class, like, I was born on the freeway?
The music sounds like hammers or like the factory machinery. Like it helps the workers stay in tune, so they're hitting
crap
their quota.
Made for people to get through the day.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds like.
Right. And then when he appears on Howard Stern like 50 years later, he's like, and what you did was so revolutionary because it let the poor people listen to music and get work done. Wow. Yeah, Howard. Whatever, Howard. Anyway, beautiful Beatles album, my favorite Beatles album. But obviously you can see in the bottom left corner, what we got to get to is it's going to blow my freaking top off, but whatever. What do you have to say about Revolver?
Revolver, one of the greatest albums ever. It's for sure a top 10 album ever.
Yeah.
It's for sure a top 10 album ever.
I would like to take a Revolver and put it to someone's head.
It's not next, though.
No, and this is what we said about Revolver double down. This is like a top 3 album. There is really no other album that sounds like this. And I'll die on that hill, even though it's not my favorite Beach Boys album. My favorite's the Smile Sessions, thanks for asking. And but this is the one I would take to court and say, Your Honor, this is the best album ever made, at least top 3.
Is there no tainting even 1% for you that Brian just wanted to be the Beatles so bad, even though he like made a perfect record? I'm trying to.
Yeah, well, that's why I shouldn't say best of all time. I'd say top 3 because I concede that Sgt. Pepper's is better than Pet Sounds. And he was also trying to be like Phil Spector. And yeah, but I think this is the one where it's like the most original sounding. Because some albums before Pet Sounds, it's like, wow, Brian, you're really trying to sound like Phil Spector here.
Mm-hmm.
Where this one has enough originality to it that I think is what makes it the best.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
No, Pet Sounds is, but what I hate.
Yeah.
Pet peeves.
And I don't know. If you have not listened to this album too, I mean, like, you got to give it a listen. It's stood the test of time.
You're not telling anybody to listen to Pet Sounds for the first time ever.
Could be. Canicomb, have you listened to Pet Sounds? Let us know.
And is that how you say your name?
Yeah.
Let us know.
Now we've got Dr. D-Ray.
You know what? I think 2001, The Chronic, or whatever the fuck that one was called, was better, actually, as a whole. This one has, Snoop Doggy Dogg and Dr. Dre is at the door, which that's a great song. I think. No, maybe that was Dre on Snoop's album. I don't know. This is a good album. And he gave Eminem his career. So Dre forever. And he gave us beats.
I was going to say, if there's anything I know about Dr. Dre, it's the beats. And I love the beat headphones. So it makes sense that he would be in the top 20 music albums, because how do we listen to music without our headphones?
But Dr. Dre and Guilty Conscience by Eminem, that's the best. That's his best appearance ever, I think. Very funny. And he was an original in NWA. Here we go.
This is the one. I mean, this is, again, the fluke. There had to have been someone with brain damage to put this here above Pet Sounds, above Revolver. That's just wrong. I don't know.
It's for everybody that actually appreciates music. I mean, I know that's going to sound pretentious or gay or whatever, but anybody that has an appreciation of the full scope of music, or at least a big part of music, and has looked through other decades and everything, they're not going to think Taylor Swift is one of the best albums ever. So it doesn't matter how many hardcore fans she has. If they're all only just listening to her, that almost proves she's a bad musician. Because the people she gets to listen to her only are smart enough to listen to her music.
Okay, yeah,
they can't look for other things that sound totally different.
Yeah, and
this is her best. This is her best album, though.
I mean, I'm not even gonna pretend like it wouldn't be a good album. Assuming it's a good album, it's just not better than a lot of the stuff that it's ranked higher than. And again, it kind of goes to my point of, like, the people who assembled this list. It's like they had to please somebody who wouldn't. The woman walked in, she's like, "Oh my gosh, it's like Taylor Swift's like not in the top 20." Then it's like, "What are we even doing this for?" Then they're like, "Okay, oh yeah, sure. You're the CEO's daughter, even though the CEO of Apple's gay. In this scenario, we'll put it here."
I don't think they're trying to. I don't think they'd be appeasing somebody else. I think they're either of this mind, because this is what people on the internet probably think she should be even higher.
Yeah, no, that's true. I was looking at the comments on the tweet. They were like, why is it only at 18? Which I think proves your point that hardcore Taylor Swift fans are like morons.
Or they know that, what I was saying, which is that they know that people like us that have listened to, or at least I've listened to a lot of these albums, are going to know that this is bullshit.
Yeah.
And so they want us to get mad. Well, I'm not taking the bait. But it is bullshit.
And no, I think it's true. I think part of what went into making this list was like, how are we going to get people to talk about it? And this move was the move that makes this list so controversial.
I mean, putting a really ridiculous album at number one. What is going on? That's what I was thinking when I saw the Taylor Swift ahead of the Beach Boys.
Yeah. I don't know this one.
I don't like Joni Mitchell, but it's just because she's liberal. Or
she's
was.
Blue.
She's dead. Yeah, kind of. Uh-oh.
Oh, my fuck.
Okay,
thank God. I was like, I can't. This is also a fluke. I don't remember Adele past 2009, but whatever.
I think she's universally loved. I think we just don't like her.
That's probably true. I think she did also. She might have been the youngest at the time, the youngest person to have the most Grammys during the Grammys. So I guess that kind of makes sense as to why this would be up here. But
and it is a statement to put her ahead of Taylor Swift. So just know that that's what they're trying to do. I don't know that I really care. I actually think it's kind of funny that the Taylor Swift people are probably mad that Adele is ahead of her. She's not on the list again, is she?
No.
Okay, thank God. I'd be so mad. Just two top 18.
Oh, wait, I can do this.
Oh, sweet. Hell yeah. Look at that user interface. Look at us clicking.
Here we go. We're 61. Oh, it's such a perfect day. I'm glad I spent it with Bobby Dylan. For you, and blue, and black and blue. Tangled up in it. Okay, I don't know. Back in the blue. I don't know. Bye. Get out of here.
If people that reference roads and highways, I'm over. I don't like that. I don't know why.
Yeah.
Highway 60. What even is that? Where's that highway?
Horse shit on Route 66.
Jay-Z's the most overrated human that's ever existed, and he's in blue again. I think that's supposed to be a little. I don't know if it's black and white or blue, but no, Jay-Z sucks. He raps slow too. I feel like if you're a rapper, you should rap fast.
Babbity boo, dabbity doo. Well, doesn't he do that thing where he just repeats what the other person, like if he does a song with somebody, they'll be like, I was in the club, and he goes, in the club, right? Doesn't he do that? Please?
Maybe. Yes.
Phew.
The funniest thing he ever did was collab with Linkin Park. Do you remember this?
Is that
this was like in 2000?
Doesn't even matter how hard you try. Is that him?
Yeah.
No way.
No.
Okay,
No, that's the guy that died, remember? Chester fucking...
That's the lead singer.
He's dead.
Yeah. But what was the
Well,
Jay-Z?
they had that was from that album, I think, Meteora or whatever. It was a Linkin Park album in like 2003 or 2002.
Was it that I Tried So Hard?
And then Jay-Z had an album. Jay-Z took all of his top songs or whatever. I don't think they were from one album. And they mushed them together. So it's like a love. The Beatles love, you know?
Yeah.
How they kind of did that. They did it with a mishmash album, Jay-Z and Linkin Park. And it rules.
I never heard of that.
It rules. I don't remember what it's called. I think it has like a Gundam on the front. Linkin Park had an album with like a Gundam on the front. Anyway, a Gungan, Jar Jar.
Well, hopefully we'll see that at number 1, you know? This is, I'm not surprised, and it should be high up. It's a good album.
Radiohead's on here twice. They got what they wanted.
Yeah.
And they got their 2 albums on here. Okay, we hate Fleetwood Mac.
Yeah, they suck.
It's almost not fair, though, because we did shit on them a little bit more yesterday. And now we're not giving the people what they want.
Sure. I just think they're incredibly overrated. And I think what really did it for me was American Horror Story Season 3. Stevie Nicks, it's the witch season. Everyone's a witch. And Stevie Nicks makes an appearance. And so she had like this resurgence, and everyone was like, she's like a witch. She's like a real witch. Did you know that? And then did you know she makes music? And then you listen to her music, and it's like, it's not even that good. I'm sorry. Fleetwood Mac blows. They're so overrated.
Yeah, I mean, I like whatever Go Your Own Way. Is that on here?
Yeah.
It's got to be.
Yeah, it is.
I like that song, but there's so many bands from this time period where like maybe their top song I like, and then you listen to the rest and it's just not good. So I'll concede that song's catchy and good, and it was fun to play in one of the rock bands. I think, even though it was an easy song in Rock Band,
probably
like an early. What do you mean probably? Did you hate him so much it was an easy song?
No. It's not a involved song.
And I mean, look at her touching that woman like that.
I know.
No. Okay, go on.
And also, how about this? Talk about trans wokeism. The girl in the band, her name is Stevie. The boy's name is Lindsay. Can you get more woke than that?
This is crazy.
Yeah.
This is infuriating. Beyonce sucks. I can't believe she's on the list twice. Fuck her.
I don't even remember this album.
By the way, her early stuff I think was better than when everybody started loving her. Like whenever the Bayhive, as I call it, whenever the Bayhive started happening, that's when she started to suck. Birthday or whatever that one. Look, she has an album that's like Birthday or something. Just think in those terms when you're looking for her albums. That one's good. I like that one. That's the... I don't even remember what's on it, actually. But no, she shouldn't be on this list, though.
She had one way down below, which is like, whatever, we'll give you that. But this top 10 is like a no-go. I'll be honest with you.
So, okay, go ahead. Be honest.
The people who assembled this list are also, again, they're woke, and what do woke people like? Pedophilia. So it makes obvious sense why they would put a naked baby's penis on the album. No, I looked at the track listing for this album because I actually hadn't done that before. This, I actually agree. This is like all the good Nirvana songs are on this album. So
I bet Nirvana has some. I don't know shit about Nirvana really, other than Kurt Cobain's dead by suicide by gun in his mouth, and I do know that Nirvana is sort of a state of mind, but I'm sure they had some legal problem putting this naked baby on the front, right?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm just wondering because it's sort of the Brass Eye sketch when he's like puts like a little girl's face on like a dog with a boner's body, you know, and he's like, is this like pornography? Does this constitute indecent? And so I bet the Nirvana fans really love to tell this story about how they fought in court.
Yeah.
And had to go through a lot of legal stuff to have this baby's dick on the cover.
Yeah.
And how it pushed the boundaries of art. And that's what Kurt Cobain did while he was alive. Rest in peace. Rest in shit, Kurt.
And, the child porn narrative just overtakes the fact that this is clearly an anti-Semitic drawing. Don't mind if I do.
Yeah, because that baby is circed, and he's going for money immediately. It's like the moment those Jews get circed. You can tell that's an Aryan baby, though, so we're not going to care. No, that's not true. That could be Ben Shapiro, his baby photo.
Yeah.
That's how you got to start, everybody.
You want to know how I made my first $1?
I posed.
This is how I made my first $1.
Never mind.
Never
mind.
Yeah, you want to know? Never mind. I mean,
Amy Winehouse is really good. I probably haven't appreciated her as much as I should have. I think she's getting the appreciation she deserves, though. How
Okay.
about that?
I haven't listened to her, so I
I don't know if she's a top 8 album. There's almost no way.
And then
Rehab, though. Try to make me go to rehab.
I've seen like at bars where there's karaoke, I've seen like the fattest, like ugliest, tatted, drugged up people sing that song too. And
This is why we should do karaoke. Can we do karaoke as an I go and you guys take me? You and your wife?
Sure.
All right.
I would do
I
that.
just want to do karaoke and I want to do a Screamo cover of something.
Like,
and
is it a Screamo song?
no, I want to cover something Screamo. I've done it. I do it on my snaps sometimes. You don't watch.
I watch them sometimes.
Never.
I do watch them.
Everybody's saying To Pimp a Butterfly should be here.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Do you know? I haven't listened to this album.
No, I've listened to it. It's not as good as To Pimp a Butterfly.
I thought it was the Black Keys album. Personally, here's what I was like. Oh, why are they on here?
Mhm.
This is yours,
Almost a perfect album.
which is why
I love Stevie Wonder. I said it earlier. This
Yeah.
is our second sight of him sighting. This is a great album. I recommend this to everybody. This could be top 5. It's gonna be better than what we're about to see.
Yeah, yeah. This is Frank Ocean when he can't get fucked in the ass because he's gay. He goes, damn it.
We're not gonna be able to clip this because it's like when we do these segments, these kind of segments where we're talking about like an album list, and the whole time we're like black, gay, fart.
Yeah,
It's tough.
I do have an anecdote about this song. My wife used to have the final track of the album as her alarm for like Sunday morning. So every Sunday morning for about 4 years, I'd woken up to the and this is how it sounds to me as an alarm. It's like oh no, understand I'm whatever baby mom. I didn't know me, mama. Fuck these mama, I'm gay. Sounds like a damn Minion song. But it's probably a good album, I guess. I don't
even remember it. I listened to it. Don't remember it. It should not be that high though. Frank Ocean's got to be the most. I've called so many people the most overrated person. He's overrated. I like Tyler more than him. Neither of them should be on the list. Yeah, whatever.
I mean, I like this album, but this is way too high. I don't know. All right. This is, I mean, I don't know. Again, like you were saying, it's like they had to appease the Rolling Stone crowd, so they just fucking picked a random Beatles album and threw it. I mean, not random, but they threw it at number 3.
Yeah, the one that always gets the most love, even though it shouldn't. And look, I was kind of shitting on Abbey Road yesterday to make a point more than really shitting on it for its actual quality. But I just want it to be in the right place in the Beatles pantheon for me. And it's like the 4th best album.
Yeah, no, I agree.
You know, so it shouldn't be number 3 on this list.
Right. I think, I like Revolver, number 1, and then like, I don't know, the White Album, and then like Sgt. Pepper's, and then even, I'd say Rubber Soul's even maybe better than this
I think
one.
I like Magical Mystery Tour more than this.
Really?
Yeah.
I love Magical Mystery Tour.
So maybe it's like 6th.
So I don't know. It is
white people do love
crossing the street.
Oh yeah, they love anytime somebody crosses the street, they have to bring up Abbey Road.
Yeah.
Anytime.
I will say, anytime there's 4 people in a room, I will refer to us as the Beatles.
Well, yeah, but that's a natural thing. You know, did you ever do that game when you were a kid where it's like, oh, this TV show and our friend group is this people, so I'm this person in this group and you're this person? I'm big on that. Obviously, I'm an MBTI guy. So.
What show did you have? Because we had that.
No, I would do
show.
that with everything.
Oh, gotcha.
Like I would just try to find the comp from the show. Like, oh, I'm the Jimmy Neutron of this group, obviously. And you're the Carl because you fucking suck. But I also want to be Shane too. So I'm Jimmy and Shane. Or Sheen. Sorry.
Yeah. Sheen Gillis.
I apologize for that.
No, I loved Sheen. We had that 70s show, and we had our whole friend group figured out. I was Eric.
Damn, whoever was Fez wanted to kill themselves.
Yeah, this kid, he was born in Turkey, but he's American. The country Turkey. We just said, oh, you're foreign, you're Fez. And he's like white. He was a white guy. And
did he eat turkey?
You know, on my birthday, he told us that he was from a country called Turkey, and I was like laughing, and I was like, "So did you eat turkey every day?" And he like cried, and I felt so bad.
Wow.
On my birthday. He thought he was like, "It's his birthday, I gotta let him just make fun of me." And so,
damn. Well, don't live in a country that's named after
food.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't think he had any albums. No, Thriller is a good song. How about that?
Yeah.
I'm over this fucking list. This list sucks because this is number 1.
Yeah.
This is number 1.
Never even listened to this.
This doesn't make any sense. I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. So I think it's a good album. It's like it fits in its place well. Boom bop, East Coast soul, thunk, a little bit of rap. It's good. It's good, but I couldn't believe it. I don't even know if this is like on other people's top list. This is just, are they doing PR for her?
Oh, someone did say, because I was looking at the replies to that, and they said, like, yeah, that she has a new album coming out because this is the only album she has. So they're like, oh, they're trying to like boost her new album by putting her at number 1.
It's just weird to me. I don't know.
Yeah, just out of place. Yeah, I mean, that's how I feel about the list as a whole. It's like so many, it's like I'm not even really mad at the choices they made. I mean, the Arctic Monkey ones, that's the only one that I'm like kind of mad at, but in the grand scheme of it, it's just like odd and kind of a letdown, but I guess it's still fun to
I want to know who made the list. I want to know the people on it.
Yeah, no, I think, like I said, I hope they had people filming whenever they were compiling the list, because I would love to hear like the reason behind a lot of the choices, or like some commentary, director's commentary or something. But
if they did it, there should be a really systematic way of doing it, and I'm sure they didn't do that. You know, where they probably just had everybody rank their 100, but even that wouldn't work because you'd have to have multiple, like nobody's having this in their top 5 albums.
Yeah.
So this was like a bold move for them. I don't know. This is so weird. You're going to have to listen to it. If you haven't listened to it, audience, listen to it. We're way over on time.
Yeah.
We're like a million minutes over on time,
So-
but this was a good one.
Yeah.
This was a great one. Hopefully the music part wasn't bad. That's all I have to say.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks for gooning with us.
Thanks for gooning.